Bring what you want into your life. And I realize there's times where your negative self, you have this negative self-talk, you have to say, no, 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 we can't do that negative. It's like there's no negative self-talk. You need to reassure yourself because there's that positive momentum.
Hello and welcome to the Business of Happiness podcast. It's your host, Dr. Tarryn MacCarthy. And guys, I'm so excited for today because I have a fabulous, phenomenal, incredible person to introduce you to. She is Hope Lloyd and the host of Gums&Gossip Podcast. And, you know, the tagline is everything. You'll know exactly why Hope's here when you hear the tagline Hope, Happiness, and Hygiene. This incredible woman has been 26 years, Hope, in dental hygiene, specializing specifically in periodontics. And really, her passion and her heart is in the softer skills, connecting with patients, passionately making those connections in the dental chair, but then also now outside of the dental chair and in the podcasting world. So please join me in welcoming Hope to the show. Hope, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I am super excited to be here and share the love with you.
I love it. I'm so excited as well because I think something that just drew me to you was your perspective and your passion for what you call the softer skills
Mhm.
and really that heart to heart connection. And I wonder if you could just share us a little bit of how you came to that understanding of that part of you that was so passionate and how you discovered that in the dental chair.
Absolutely. So, the number one thing, I look at everybody who they're my friend or my family. I feel like everybody feels when they come into my room, it's an experience. They might not know who I am, they might not know, I might not know who they are, but there's that I feel like you meet people for reasons. And there's that connection that you have, and having a name like Hope, it just ends up bringing where you can't, not think of anything that would be, helpful to others, right? So I take it upon my passion and I love what I do. I've been wanting as a hygienist, I have my bachelor's of science degree. I wanted to be able to have like where your patients, they're my priority. I've always been a caregiver and I've been a single mom. So I've raised both of my kids, and this job really has not been a job, it's been a career that's allowed me to express my passions and be able to give back to the community and welcome people into my chair to be able to share their it's a personal space. And so just to connect with others, and I feel like I have the passion to share the journey, and it started at a young age when I just was fascinated with teeth. I don't know.
Not
I'm
everybody is, Hope.
no,
Even
so it's a
even most
really
most dentists are not fascinated with teeth. But, I think you bring up a really great point and a beautiful perspective is that we are in this profession where we have the opportunity to meet new people every single day, not just one or two, but several new people every day. And sometimes we allow our own focus on the work to blind us of it, to make us forget that important one-to-one connection in a very intimate way. So I love that that focus for you is so clear.
right. I feel like I give, and patients know, and everybody who tells me they meet me, you give genuine connections to people. And when I've been through a lot of struggles. There's been a lot of life struggles, there's been a lot of lessons. A lot of people have been through life struggles and lessons, right? It's really how you cope with it, how you can move forward and so that you can help others. And by doing the soft skills, it's a passion of mine because I call it the hope and heart skills, where you can do hope and give your heart, where it helps fulfill not only patient retention, right? But you also have where, people refer, there's a whole connection besides just the technical skills. You're not just going in in cleaning teeth anymore. There's medical involved. There's every kind of thing. It's all integrated where you're allowed to be able to, you know, experience a whole experience in the chair, not just clean my teeth and get me on my way.
So what are these soft skills that you're talking about? So what are you referring to?
So I'm referring to active listening, making sure you're aware of the nonverbals where you can see if somebody's not comfortable, if they've had a bad experience in the dental chair, you're not going to just shove your hands in their mouth and be like, "I got to go. I have another patient, in an hour," right? There's the building the connection of that. There's the compassion, there's the empathy, there's the giving what you can so that your team is actually, you know, you're allowed to have your team, you're allowed to have your moments, right? But you have to really focus on making sure that everybody is happy, which I love your business of happiness. Because when other people are happy, it's fulfilling and it makes you rewarded to be happy as well.
So, what do you do if you're having a really rough day? So, I know, your patient's happiness matters so much to you and
Mhm.
connecting with them and making them feel safe and supported. What if your day is really hard? How do you combat that in the office?
Oh my goodness, I've had so many numerous times where, as a single mom, you're juggling kids and you have all these other things going on in your life. It's a whirlwind, right? I feel like my mindset shifted where it was, hey, right now, your focus is don't worry about that other stuff. You'll handle the other stuff when you can, but you're there to help somebody else. And so I never really looked at it as a, bad day, really. It was more, hey, and it's not putting on a face, it's not being fake or doing anything like that. It's really just shifting your mindset to realize that everybody's human. And if I had like a breakdown moment or something like that, you just kind of excuse yourself, you know, and you regroup. There's also, sometimes there's somebody who would recognize that. I always felt alone. There was a lot of times, you're in an office and you just don't feel like you wanna share. My patients were actually interesting enough. They were the ones that comforted me the most, and they had no idea that they were even comforting me. It's not like I was sharing like, "Oh my goodness, let me tell you all this crap that's happening," right? It was more they could feel things. I guess I'm easy to read. They could feel, "Hey, are you okay?" Or, "Is everything okay?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, it's kinda rough," and then we just go on our way. And, they would tell me a story, and then I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, it's kind of going on now too," but you choose your own happiness, I guess, is if that's a good mindset where you choose your own happiness.
So, how do you do that, Hope? How do you choose your own happiness? How do you guide your clients to choose their own happiness?
They actually it's funny, I don't know if it's the personality, the gift of gab or what, or just the connection. I'm an empath, and so I feel there's different, things you can look for, like I said, in the nonverbal, communication, where you build that connection and you realize, "Hey, that person's happy maybe because of me," that there's that, "I've been giving back so much." Obviously, you have to give to yourself. So, number 1, I would say, really take care of yourself and make sure that you're taken care of so that you can take care of others. And I think that was a interesting way because you do feel like I said, I did feel alone a lot of times, but as long as I could take care of myself and my mental space, then I could give to others, and then I was bringing happiness back.
So there was kind of that fueling you again. But I
Mhm,
love that you really mentioned the importance of taking care of yourself first. That we can't
mhm.
show up for others when we're just trying to push through or force it, but really taking care of your own mental health and your own needs first.
Absolutely, and it shows, and then the other part of it was, which I've had to learn, it's a huge journey, that your value. that you mean something, that there is worth, right? So you want to make sure that you feel the worth because you don't want there were so many times I didn't feel worthy, but then you would have a patient who would say, "Oh my goodness, you help keep my teeth," and I'm smiling because of you. Or there's so many things. You have the office, people are having bad days all around you. There's grouches, there's all kinds of things. And you just can remove yourself from some of those obstacles and realize, you know what? If there's something I can do, I have this energy to help, then I can. If not, it really doesn't serve me to sit there and be around the negativity. I don't do well with negativity. It's something that is ingrained in me with my name, I guess. Negativity is like, no way.
So you're talking about really also boundary setting, even in the office,
Exactly.
depending on who you're working with or the environment that you're in.
Right. So there's a lot of people that realize that they're in toxic workspaces. I was in toxic spaces all the time where it does drain you, but like I said, I was there for the patient. I wasn't there for somebody else to be saying, "Hey, you're not doing something," or "You're not," even though I was helping, there would be these people, all in your office that were like, "Well, we're not gonna help. We're not gonna do that." But I always took the high road and would just want to help and to better everybody, right? So, I'm a team player.
Hey guys, I'm interrupting your podcast episode to let you know about an incredible new program that I'm launching in January of 2023. It is specifically for practitioners in medicine and dentistry to help you rediscover happiness and inner fulfillment within your profession and your life. I remember what it was like for me when years ago I was so depressed and anxious and feeling like I had created and built a treadmill I just couldn't get off of, pushing through every day and wishing my life away. This program is the how of how to find happiness in your practice and in your life. Because we know that when we feel good, that's when we can do good. Check out thebizofhappiness.com/radical happiness or click the link in the show notes. I cannot wait to see you there. Have you ever had experience yourself with burnout or overwhelm in the dental office?
Absolutely. So, when COVID times hit, I was, I was in a situation where the office that I was at, we all had different thinking behind what was going to happen with the pandemic, right? And it was kind of at that aha moment. It's scary, change is scary, but it was that aha moment where I realized how I was only there just to help support my kids. It was close by the office, my house. It was really close by my house. And it was, do I really wanna go back into dental hygiene, right? And that's when when Gums& and Gossip podcast, I realized there was a disconnect. There was something there, that patients were sending me messages, "We miss you. We miss your stories." "How about can we meet you sometime? We'll be 6 feet away." "Can we meet for coffee? Can we do that?" I had a patient just randomly say, I really, and I know this might sound really creepy, but, really great people send me toilet paper, when I needed toilet paper. It was on my porch. I mean, it wasn't like it was just kind of I knew them, and it was like we've known each other for 10 years, right? So these patients become your family and there are boundaries, but I think in the best way of putting this is that you bring what you want into your life. And I realize there's times where your negative self, you have this negative self talk. You have to say, no, 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 we can't do that negative. It's like there's no negative self talk. You need to reassure yourself because there's that positive momentum. If you say all the time, oh my goodness, why is this happening to me? Well, of course it's happening to you because it always is like, "Oh my goodness, doom and gloom."
Yeah, I love that so much, Hope, because it reminds us that we're actually so much more powerful than we think. And we don't have to live as victims of our circumstances. We get to choose and create our own reality.
And I'm not saying things have always been easy. They really haven't, right? It's the outlook that you have on things. It's also, I'm learning to surround myself with people that actually care. I don't think I had that before. It's been more of a recent transformation. The toxic work environment that I look back on was just to help me survive, right?
Mm.
And so you're in survival mode, and then you recognize, hey, how can I help others by making them where they don't feel like they're just surviving, but they're thriving, right?
So, what does thriving look like to you right now?
I'm excited to share. I have so many things going on. I love the industry, but guest speaking, that's been my passion to get out and share my knowledge as far as giving my hope and my heart skills that we can all kind of work together and maybe possibly have some kind of medical integration with the dental world and just we can all play nice in the sandbox, right? And here we are. Everybody just, I know it's weird to say, but it's not like we're all going, "Oh yeah," but you're allowed to have bad days. I'm not saying that, but it's just the shift, right? And I've been muffins and mimosas. I'm going to be podcasting from Muffins and Mimosas where I'm sponsoring and I'm going to be doing it's a really cool venue out in Plano, Texas, and I believe it's sold out and we're going to be talking about Alzheimer's and dementia, which is passionate to me because my father had Alzheimer's dementia and he passed 10 years ago. And so there's so many things in the dental community that go along with Alzheimer's. There's also with sleep. They're going to be talking guest speaking with sleep. And there's also salivary testing, which has been a really interesting topic on the pH and how we can help others with all that, all these things with airway. I mean, we're just learning so much about all that. So I'm going to be talking, and doing like a special little bonus podcast from there. I've got
Fabulous.
another yeah, so and then I have another event that I'm planning in October, end of October in Austin, Texas, with Dental CE Masters, where we are going to be having some fun with some maybe, I'm thinking aloud, so I'm trying to coordinate, maybe some brewery, something fun like that, maybe some yoga, maybe some art, some therapy along with the continuing education so that way we can encompass some fun in the weekend and be able to enjoy. So I have that going on as well.
Very
Um,
cool.
yeah, I just got back from San Diego at a dental conference and it was an event. It wasn't a conference, sorry. So I got back from San Diego with the dental event and it inspired me because there was the aligned hygienist. She was doing her yoga therapy there and it was just such a great experience, and so it's just creating your environment.
Yeah, that's really what you're demonstrating right now is having a passion, having an interest, having a dream, and then creating that for yourself and keeping that positive perspective. I love that so much, Hope. So, for those of the audience members who are listening and are interested to learn more about your podcast, what
Mhm.
is the focus of Gums and Gossip, the podcast?
So I know teeth and gums and I know people. So Gums and Gossip came about because of the whole hope, happiness, and hygiene and how I can relate to people. And they're professionals. I interview a lot of professionals from hygiene, not just the hygiene world or the dental world, but there's several different topics, but they all integrate back into the dental market because I feel like everybody has a story to share. And it's evolved where I have a tattoo artist who came on.
Ah,
We talk needles with like bleeding and his chair and mine, and how they're sometimes people are more squeamish, even they have 100 tattoos on, but in the mouth, no, it was like, don't numb me.
yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh,
So
very
I
cool.
I have a unique perspective on the whole dental field, but I do believe everyone has a story to share. So it highlights the professionals and the different stories and how we can. I even have genetics. I have a functional medicine doctor who has been in D Magazine. She's going to be on my podcast as well. I have jaw surgery. I have drug rehab. I have human trafficking. Lots going on this season where I could go on and on, just really cool, inspirational guests, and we sit and chit chat about gum gab, right? We gum gab about all the exciting things, and then I think you'll be on my podcast too. So
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on your podcast. And I just have to say thank you. Thank you so much for all that you're doing in the world and this really positive perspective that you bring. I think you mentioned it's okay to have a bad day, but you're teaching us it's also okay to have a great day. I think sometimes we don't give ourselves that permission either.
celebrate yourself. I think that's one of the things, if I can teach anybody, I know there's a lot in my head, but if I can teach anything, there's always something to look forward to. Create something. If you can't find something to look forward to, create something. Like you have, I'm looking forward to going on a trip, or I'm looking forward to doing this. And it doesn't even have to be monetary. Hey, I'm looking forward to just getting in the bubble bath, right? It could be just
Mm.
anything that your heart desires. Create a looking forward to moment.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for being here today, Hope. This has been so awesome. Just a little bit of an infusion of hope. You really are the embodiment of hope. Absolutely. And before you go today, can you let my audience know how to find you? Where can we find you in the digital world?
Absolutely. So, Gums and Gossip is on Instagram. So, it's Gums and Gossip. I'm also on Facebook. There's Gums and Gossip. So, you can follow me there. I have started a YouTube channel. So, we'll see how I interact with all that. And it's Gums and Gossip on the YouTube channel. I have my website, www.gumsandgossip.com. So you can find me all over, and then guest speaking. I'm LinkedIn. You can find me Hope Lloyd, and I look forward to the adventures ahead of me.
Awesome. And before you leave, the final question I have for you that I ask all of my guests,
Mhm.
what is your definition of happiness?
My definition of happiness is probably personal development, where your goals are met and opportunities are made.
Ooh, love that. Love that. Thank you so much, my friend. And thank you to all of you for joining us here on this episode of the Business of Happiness podcast. I hope you check her out because it really is a absolute refreshing look, just a new perspective where we live in this world constantly of focusing on the problems, focusing on what's wrong in life. Hope really infuses that beautiful concept of hope and possibility. So, thank you, my friend. And thank you to all of you for joining us here today. And remember, when you feel good, that's when you can do good. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Thank you.